Hi. This time I'm taking a look at the map editor of the city Skylines, which is actually fairly simple tool to use, but it actually is also really powerful and really nice to make your own maps. So let's jump into the tools here and into the map editor, and let's make a new one. So there's three different themes I can use for the maps. There's temperate map, which is kind of like Central Europe-ish map. Then there's Boreal, which is more like Northern Europe or Canada or any of the northern, well, northern area anyway, in case. And then you have a kind of tropical, could be your Mediterranean, California, Florida beaches or something. But let's take the temperate because that's the most pleasing to my eye so currently. Let's create this map. The video will lag a bit when it loads the editor always, because there's quite a lot of things need to load here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So the map editor, unlike in some other city builders in recent times where maps are limited, which you can use by the developers and you just have to play what they are creating for you, in City Skylines you have free mode to do whatever you have. And here the Twitter bird is telling me that we need to have all of these requirements and recommended options for the map. So you need water for the you don't actually need it for the drinking water, but you need it for the waste disposal. Dump your waste into the water. Then you need to have at least one incoming highway connection and at least one outgoing highway connection. And it's recommended that you have connection for train, ships and planes as well. And you have these resources available as well. But let's close the Twitter here. So I'll show you the tools quickly. So time is actually running on this editor as well. Because if there's water flow, it will flow and you see where it goes and all that. So there's time rolling all the time. I'm gonna pause it, it doesn't matter at the moment. So this is the map area you have to use. And in the middle you see the grid area. And this is the grid area you use in the game and buy more space. So it's 5 by 5 on this one. So 25 tiles in total, and you can use up to 9 of them. And your regular tile in the middle is the starting tile, but you can actually change the starting tile to be any one of these in here, as you please. There's always gonna be like this 2 by... is it 9? Yes, 2 by 9 areas kinda on the edge here. That are basically like scenery on the edge of the map. So your city doesn't just end into nothingness. You have this nice scenery kinda around your city as well. And the city builder mode is actually limited to the squares you have unlocked. So if I had this one, I would actually only be able to kinda move my camera around this square here. So it would mean there's always kinda nice scenery around the edges, which can be used for making things pretty. But let's take a look at the tools. So you have terrain tools, you have different brush shapes and styles, and you have strengths and sizes as well. So you can pump up the size here, and we can, for example, take this shift tool, which can be used to level up or lower the land as I wish. And then you have a level tool, which allows you to level these lands to be more level with each other. Then we have a soften tool, so let me do like a big mountain here, and the soften tool can be used to like kind of smooth the edges. If you have a really jagged looking steep hills, you can make them look a bit more natural by smoothing them around. And then you have a slope tool, which can be used to make like a really steep slopes if you need to do something like that. So that's basically the terraforming tools you can use. I'll skip these for now. Actually, no, we'll go through this. So there's importing and exporting height maps in the game. So it uses a 16-bit PNG map format, and this can be used. This can be actually much anything. But people have figured out already how to get real-world height maps and use them in the game. So I have a couple downloaded already here, made by people on Reddit, mainly Funkboy2. I'll link them below the stream as well, where you can check out his work but I'm sure there's much more to come in the future. So I have Oslo here, I have Helsinki, which is the capital of Finland, where I'm from. There's some other Norwegian maps, the Rodvik, actually it's Rorvik. And we have Sydney, Honolulu, Trondheim, Oslo, also from Norway. So we'll pick one of these maps. I actually kind of like the look of Oslo. So it's so simple that you have a folder on the Steam where your city skyline is located called height maps, and you can just plop the picture in there, and it shows up in the game. And then you just press the import, and voila, we have the landscape made from the picture. So this is where you use the soften tool, because you get something like this in here. But just look at the landscape, it looks so nice already. It looks kind of odd when it doesn't have water. And getting next map. This is the map actually I've been playing myself on stream recently. So this is the Rorvik area map. Let's keep this one. So this is now imported in the game. You can see the Norwegian mountains here. And then we could also export the map in here immediately if I wanted. If you make your own map, you can use it as well. It seems you can also use raw and TIFF files for this. So this is the water level and water source tool. So this one is a tool you can use to move sea level. So you can see where the sea level will be, and I think the Rorvik's sea level is around here in real life, what I looked from the Google Maps. So let me do that and let the time run a bit, and we should have water there. Magic. And now it looks already so much better. Norwegian coastline with mountains and some water going on. Might be actually a bit too high. It is too high. Let me lower the water level a bit. I think I put it a bit too high. There. And we can reset the water level here immediately. So we'll make it a bit lower. It shows sand here now everywhere because it was temporarily all underwater. But it should get fixed in a moment. It's already turning green. There. So this one actually looks more like the Rorvik and the map I've been playing. And you can also place these water sources. So these are literally just spawn points for water. And you can actually do stuff like even waterfalls in this game. So let me actually take the land tool and I'll lower the brush strength a bit. And I'll make some dent in there, and then let's do like a small. It's a bit too steep, I think. Let's lower the strength a bit, increase the size, and connect it into the water here. Okay, that's good enough. Then we take the water placement tool. So this is now water source, and you can place this water source in the river, so upstream, and there is actually a flow physics in the game. So this will actually start now spawning water in there in a moment. So there you see, and the water is kind of this gelatin kind of looking thing that kind of flows around, and you can actually make like a proper cascading waterfalls and mountain rivers going downstream. And the really clever thing is actually it's overflowing a bit. So you can also do stuff like that. It actually may not be overflowing too much once it settles and goes through here. Yeah, there it goes. And the clever thing about the game is that this is the sea level, and when you do a river that's upper level or like this mountain waterfall, and when it hits the sea level, the water actually kind of disappears. So it doesn't flood your whole map, so the water doesn't actually rise all the way from there to this level, even though it keeps spawning water constantly. It will actually just keep flowing into the river here and into the ocean, and then it settles. And it's actually now starting to fully form how it's gonna be in the end. So there we go. A nice mountain river going down the hill. So that's the water placement tool you can do. And the water physics are really fun. You can also build dams, and it actually will affect how the flow works with this. And this damming this would actually probably flood all of this in the end. Let's move on. So you have ground resources. So you can specialize industry in city skylines, and you have 3 different industries based on the resources you can do. So there's ore, you can place the ore wherever, so there is now ore, and you can build a mining industry there. You can do oil, so this is the oil industry area, and then you can do fertile land, which is basically a farming area. And now, in the game, in the builder mode, you can build a district in here and make industry in there, and you can specialize it for farming, for oil, and for also mining. So oil, mining, fertile, for farming. There is a fourth type of industry as well, which is the forest. So there is a forest tool in this as well, which allows you to just place trees wherever. Just make it look nice. There have some mountain trees. There's a valley with a forest. And the forest tree industry is the fourth type of industry you can do that specializes on these resource nodes. Other than that, it's just a kind of beautification for the map, but it can be used also for industry and make it look nice. Then you have roads, you have intersections, so we can place intersections, roads and stuff. Like the Twitter bird says, we need to have at least one water connection, highway connection. So this is the highway connection you need to build. So you build one of these, and then you have these edges where it starts, and you start building a road, and you drag the road wherever you want. And you can do this the same way you can do it in the builder mode. You just build a road here. I'm not gonna do anything fancy at the moment, and you just need to connect it to the edge of the map to create the connections for outgoing and incoming. I'm not gonna do that fully. Then you have a rail connections, so you build the rails same way as roads, and you connect it to the edges to create a rail connection. You have a sea connection or a ship connection, so ships also can be passed through the water. So this will be now where the ship will pass through. It might be actually difficult to get through here because the water level is what it is. Yeah, anyways. So you can path the ships where they will go, and this creates the ship connection in the tiles where the ship connects into. And you can do the same for airplanes, so you can make airplanes fly through here. And you can only build the ship ports and airports in the tiles that connect into these lines. So you need to plan it where you are gonna build your city. And there you have almost a fully done map already. You probably wanna use the height map and then use the smoothing tool to make it look a bit less jagged like this. So you can do some smoothing here, make some trees everywhere, add some animal spawning point, so there are some wildlife spawning there, seagulls, wolves, stuff like that. You can also add sand with sand tool if you want to make sandy beaches, and you can also put some large smoke markers if you really wish to. And that's basically a map you've done. Then you can take some choose the grid spot, so that should be probably the starting point, and then you need to get snapshots of this. Take a snapshot there, and then you go and just save your map. There's a snapshot you took, so you can see where it is and all this information. And then you're gonna use it in the game. You can upload the maps to Steam Workshop, share them with your friends and everyone else, and it's very easy and built into the game. So that's basically the map editor. It's really powerful, especially with height maps, and it can create really good looking maps for yourself. It does require a bit of learning to use the tools, especially the land forming tools are kind of tough to use at first, and getting the height maps correctly working. Like importing them is really easy, but getting a properly made height map is a bit difficult. But you can create some amazing things, and I'm sure people will be doing all cities of the world eventually and creating some amazing maps. You could even get height maps of a moon and do your own crater map, and maybe someday we will actually have different looking team for moon maps, and we'll do colonization of Mars, moon, and stuff like that with this map editor. But that's my pretty hasty look into the map editor of Skylines, and it is amazing. Gives you infinite replayability pretty much, because every map will be different for every playthrough. But thanks for watching again. I'll see you guys on some other Skylines videos, my Let's Plays, quick looks of different games, and on my twitch.tv/Balnar live stream every day. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys.